Powered by Riverside.
It's the Dynasty front office, and we are building you championships one trade at a time. I'm your host, Jesse Schneeman, and I'm joined by the two most slanderous, libelous friends anyone could ever have. That's right, I'm back. You're going to answer for the things you said about me when I was gone. Starting with the auspicious Austin Bell, what you got to say?
I plead the fifth. 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth. Fifth. But nah, man, I'm doing good. It's glad to have you back. A bunch of NFL stuff this week. You know, rookie drafts going. Real draft happened. I'm ready to go ahead and get my Super Bowl tickets, so I'm doing good.
Thanks for holding it down. I had a above 100 fever that day.
Yeah, for people your age, I know that's dangerous. So
I'm
glad you're doing good. I'm glad you're back.
Thanks, man. Feeling good. And my main man, Chad Mendoza. How you doing tonight, Chad?
I'm good, man. I just watched the Knicks absolutely destroy the Hawks, and Shaq had to resuscitate them at the half, so that was pretty cool. Nice. But yeah, no, I'm having a good night.
Congrats. I kind of, I'm not allowed to really root for a New York team as a Philly fan, but that's all. That's the Nova Knicks. So I'm happy you guys are having some success.
Are you though?
In a way. I'm happy for
you
Brunson.
Haven't figured out that way yet, is what you're saying.
I'm happy for Mikhail. Mikhail's my boy. So, all right, Austin. Why don't you tell people where they can find us when we're not podcasting?
YouTube and Twitter at Front Office FF. Link in the Discord. I don't have the show notes up, man. We're gonna have to wing it this time.
So join the Discord. The link is in the show notes.
That's what I was
the important
getting at.
thing.
Yeah, that's the most important one. Other than that, make sure you're listening because we're doing trade bangers of the week most weeks. Maybe a couple random prospects here and there we need to talk about still, as well as our weekly show.
Listener League drafts tomorrow morning.
Ooh.
Pretty excited for that. I've got the 101, 105, 106, 110. Used to have the 109 and 201, but I traded those for RJ Harvey. It was a great trade.
I think we discussed that.
Yeah, but
it was a great trade for somebody.
Relegation's back on the table.
It's true.
So, yeah. So stay tuned for that. We'll have updates all season.
I mean, as long as you guys don't suck again.
Correct.
No promises.
I'm going to try my best. All right. Tonight we're going to do rookie landing spots. We're going to figure out the good ones, the bad ones, the ones we don't really know about. Just going to try to help you guys with your rookie drafts. We've seen a lot of stuff go down so far, and man, stuff's all over the place. It is wild this year. Everybody knowing that this class is subpar. It's not terrible. It's the worst I've ever seen, but it's still, you can find players out there. Just don't lose your minds. It's really making people lose their minds and do crazy stuff. So we're going to just go player by player, hit the landing spot, what we think of it, how long we think it'll take the player to hit, what their value is, where you should be taking them. Austin, where are we going to start?
We're going to start at the top. We're going with Fernando Mendoza.
Okay.
To the Raiders, 101. Is he 101 in rookie drafts? Probably not.
No.
But where are y'all comfortable taking him? I know we haven't mentioned any other names, but let's go ahead and get into where Mendoza. Is it 102 still? Is it later? Where y'all at?
I mean, he's the 102 for me. I've seen him go 103 twice. I mean, yeah, I've seen him go 103 twice where Tate went 102. So it's not like it's every draft is going to be like that, but I think that's consensus. What do you think, Chad?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's probably consensus. I'm comfortable with him. Anywhere from 2 to 4 is perfectly fine. If he goes within that range, I'm not shocked. Outside of that range, I think you're getting into okay, like we're doing a little bit something different here.
Yeah, I think he's gone 3 in the 3 or 4 drafts I've seen every time.
Yeah.
Tate's gone 2 at each time.
Yeah. There's still time though. I mean, we know. I mean, we saw players last year go from late first round, early second round, all the way up to 104 or 105 by the end of the draft cycle. So, I mean, it's this thing is definitely up in the air and can change tomorrow.
Well, and per draft, everything goes. Your market is going to determine itself. All it takes is one person to do something crazy to throw everything off, right?
Yeah. One thing I did want to bring up with Mendoza is they didn't really get him any receiver help still.
Yeah.
I mean,
but
it's pretty brutal.
But he's got Bowers.
I mean, sure.
Yeah.
So there's your wide receiver 1.
Sure. Then he doesn't have a wide receiver 2, whichever way you want to say it. It's not good either way.
I mean, yeah, he's going to need those young guys to take a step forward. Besh. Who else do they have besides Dante Thornton?
They brought in Jalen Naylor, right?
Jalen Naylor, yeah, they paid him.
Wasn't that their bigger money? Yeah.
I mean, I think he's kind of an underrated player. I think his opportunity in Minnesota was pretty much capped just because of the not just the quarterback play, but also just the situation there. As far as you have 2 really good wide receivers in front of you that he's definitely not better than. But as far as being and I think he could be a decent wide receiver 2 in the league. I don't really have many doubts about that, but you would like to see the Raiders have gone out and picked up a player that has the potential to be a wide receiver 1 alongside Bowers. That way, having Bowers is the plus that he's supposed to be, and not the focal point every game, all game, because he's all they have, essentially, from a passing perspective.
Yeah, I think they're gonna heavily focus on the run.
Yeah, I think they bring in a vet receiver still. I would assume
there's a couple guys out there. They could bring in Ayuk, Debo. Debo would actually make his life a lot easier, and I think Kubiak knows how to use him.
Yeah.
I mean, short stuff. Short stuff that maybe he can break some tackles and keep the offense moving, make things easier on Mendoza.
Yeah, true. It's just at least the line's decent. I'll give it that. I think it should be. It should at least be decent. I don't know if it'll be good, but decent.
Yeah.
Considerably better than what Geno saw last year, assuming they stay healthy.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that was a pretty big part of the problem, too, is they weren't healthy last year.
Anything else before we move on to what is the consensus 101?
Yeah, so, all right. So, Chad, you're on record as saying that you would take Tate with 102, and I don't have a problem with that. I have a league where I have 102, and I don't really want to take Mendoza. But shouldn't I take anything to move down to 103 and let them take Mendoza? Whatever I get is free, right?
No, I mean,
what if they take Tate though?
Yeah, I mean that's a thing.
If they take Tate, then okay, I take Mendoza. I mean, it's not like I'm getting screwed by getting a
well, that's just basically saying you want to trade down. I mean, and if you want to trade down, if you don't mind which player you get, then do it. But that's anywhere in the draft, really. I mean, for me, there's teams where and I'm not saying that in every league I'm going to take Tate over Mendoza. I'm probably going to take Mendoza more often than not at 102. But I have no problems taking Tate ahead of him. But if I'm taking Tate ahead of him, there's a reason for it. I need that position, and I don't think there's really much of a fall off there as far as talent goes. I think they're probably pretty similar for their respective positions.
I have one league where I have the 102 and I really need Tate and I don't really need Mendoza. So that's what I'm saying. I think I'm just going to take whatever I can get to move down a spot. Because the team behind me needs quarterbacks.
Are you contending there?
No.
Okay. I was going to say that'd be a good situation in my opinion. Then is using the 102 for a vet receiver of some sort. If you're not contending, then you just take one of the rookies.
Later stages of a rebuild, and I don't want to screw it up.
It also is really just going to depend on what how savvy that other Dynasty player is as well. Because if I look at your roster and you're like, hey, you want Mendoza? Come trade with me one spot. I'm going to look at you and be like, no, you're probably not going to take Mendoza then. Why would I trade with you? So, I mean, I don't know.
I didn't say anything. I sent 102 for 103 and 203.
Yeah.
I mean, is that crazy to ask for?
I probably wouldn't pay it,
I mean, I wouldn't
to
give
be
it,
honest,
but
unless I had to have the quarterback.
yeah.
I mean, he's got a pretty good roster, and he really needs a quarterback.
Well, the thing is, like, Mendoza's also not going to start early too. So if it's if he has a really good roster, he's a contending team, he probably should use that pick somewhere else.
Yeah. I mean, he's 103, so he's not that good.
He's probably not very good if he's 103.
Yeah, well, you just said very good roster, so I just took him.
Yeah.
I mean, he does. He's just got some holes that I think really bit him last year, probably some injuries or whatever. All right. Yeah, let's move on from Mendoza.
Let's do it. Let's go to the 101, Jeremiah Love.
Okay.
3rd overall to the Cardinals. What are we happy about first before we get to know what we're sad about? What are we happy about?
I don't have a problem with it.
Well, then what are we happy about? Explain your not.
I'm happy about
the
the fact that Jeremiah Love is a stud running back and he is playing in the NFL now. So I get to have him on. You know what I'm happy about? I have 6 101s.
So it sounds like you're bad at Dynasty is what I'm hearing. Just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Hey, man, that's all my rebuilds.
Now you did good then if that's the rebuild.
Mm-hmm, exactly. Not all my rebuilds, most. But yeah, I mean, that 102 that I have was the one I failed, actually. I mean, what do I like about the landing spot? They should, in theory, have the elements to a good passing game outside of the quarterback, I guess. But I mean, if it's Brissett, he can chuck it up there and keep them moving. You know what I mean? Like, they have the pieces. It should be fine. You know, if their offense was as good as it was last year, Love would smash in that.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I would have preferred him to go somewhere else, but I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world, right? Like, I think he's clearly better than his competition, but competition was never going to be a problem for Jeremiah Love. I mean, I would say kind of the one thing that worries me about the situation is maybe some vulturing going on, because we know, you know, they have a really, really good back that can be a legit goal line, you know, running back. I mean, probably the best in the league at it. So, or one of the best in the league at it, rather.
You mean James Conner?
Yeah, James Conner.
I mean, let's be realistic, though. He's 31 or 32 and injury prone and coming off a major injury.
That's what I'm saying, goal line back, right? So if he's vulturing, you know, 5, 6, 7 TDs a year, like, that's a significant hit on Jeremiah Love in the short term. So,
yeah, this year, maybe this year, maybe.
Yeah, in the short term. Yeah. So, you know, it's one of those things. I would have liked to see him go to a place like Tennessee or a place like the Giants, where he was, you know, he was going to be the guy if they were going out there and taking him. Kind of, I don't know. I mean, I wish the team that he was going to was a more competitive roster. I don't think it's going to be a good offense this year.
Yeah, and they signed Algier, which can't be ignored I mean, he's going to earn touches in some fashion.
Yeah, they're paying him a decent amount too.
Yeah. So it does worry me stealing year one.
Another back was going to earn touches no matter where he went. If you're telling me that 100-year-old James Conner and Tyler Algier and Trey Benson, these are the problems? Good. Those are good problems to have.
I mean, that's
Tyler Algier was a big problem for Bijan owners for quite some time.
The entire time, much less quite some time. The entire time.
I think that there's always going to be a Tyler Algier in Bijan's, you know, in Bijan's life. You know, that's just how the NFL is now.
I mean, but not really though. Like, that's the thing, is there are situations in which a running back drafted in the top 5 picks, that's his backfield. And there's just question marks for Arizona. Am I saying that it's impossible that, you know, he steps in there and Tyler Algier just doesn't see the field? Like, of course, that's a possibility. But you would think, you know, this is not a surprise. This is not like a whim where they're like, you know, we thought we were never going to draft Jeremiah Love. That's why we signed Tyler Algier.
I don't have a problem with it. I think he's top 5 dynasty running back right now.
I do too.
I
do too, but we're talking about
either.
the negatives, right? So
yeah,
we're not saying it's going to kill his value. He's definitely, for me, he's top 3.
Let's
but
go back to the positives.
It's still a negative.
Well, you didn't list any, so we had to go to negatives.
Let's go back to the positives. We had a new coaching staff, and that is Mike LaFleur. I like that. It's a progressive Shanahan tree offense. Good. We like that. He'll be involved with the passing game. We have a decent line. It's not in shambles. It's fine. We have really elite receiving options and 2 quarterbacks that will chuck it up there when Jacoby Brissett and Gardner Minshew. So it's not like the offense will be stagnant. It's just going to be mistake prone. So they're probably not going to win a lot of games, and their defense stinks. So all in all, it feels like it's going to be a lot of touches for Love this year.
I think you are vastly overestimating their offensive line. They probably have a bottom 3 in the league.
Is it really that bad?
It's bad. It's bad. I think they signed 1 offensive lineman. I don't really remember his name. Am I?
They drafted Chase Bizantis.
Yeah, Bizantis. Yeah,
which is good. He's a very solid guard.
Yeah, for sure. Let's see,
and I mean they have Paris Johnson Jr., Isaac Sumato,
Seumalo. They signed Isaac Seumalo, former Steeler, former Eagle, really good run blocking guard.
Haji for I don't even know these guys, which is saying something because I do pay attention.
So they filled their guard spot. So they already had a good left tackle in Paris Johnson. And
then Elijah Wilkinson's right tackle.
Yeah, I don't know anything about him.
So
yeah, maybe they need some work on their line.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that offense gels together. I mean, everybody could take a step, right? Like if they get some decent play out of Brissett, we saw Brissett play decently for stretches last season. So if they can get that all year, cool. Like that, maybe that's a positive. You know, they have the weapons. Marvin Harrison, maybe he takes a step. Yeah, a lot has to come together for him to be kind of the premier running back that I think he can be in the league. And when I'm saying negatives, like it's all in perspective. I'm talking about, I view this guy as a top 3 running back. He has to hit a really high bar to meet that.
Yeah, you're right.
I think looking at the depth chart, I think it's going to be really hard for this offense to sustain what we expect to be fantasy relevant players. You've got Jeremiah Love, Marvin Harrison Jr., Michael Wilson, what he did, and Trey McBride. It's just going to be so hard for those
bad quarterback
players.
Play.
Yeah, exactly. For those players to be good.
Yeah, I don't think you can hope for both of those receivers to put up numbers.
Can we really hope for one of those receivers with McBride and the running back?
I think you can hope for it, but I don't know how realistic it is. Maybe you get a 40% shot of that happening. I don't know. Yeah, it's a little scary for Marvin Harrison. Let me ask you guys this. Do you think Love will have a better or worse season than Genty did this last year?
Better.
Which was an underrated season. 1,000 yards and 6 or 8 touchdowns.
I think it's going to be better just because of I think it's going to be better just because of the PPR upside is, just astronomically better than Genty's, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Genty had a solid season though with that. He had 400 yards and 5 touchdowns. So
solid. I just think I think in my opinion, I think Jeremiah Love is already one of the best pass catching backs in the league, in my opinion. So I think with how I think their offense is going to struggle, it's just an easy thing to do, right? Like struggling offense, toss the ball to the running back. I think we're going to see a lot of that.
That felt like a Peggy Hill right there. Like, in my opinion, spaghetti sauce is the best sauce for spaghetti. In my opinion.
I have no idea what you're talking about. But
he's like, in my opinion, Jeremiah Love is a great pass catcher.
I think we're going to see a running back moved off of this roster.
Yeah, I hope so.
Probably around training camp.
I don't
see how they keep Love, Algier, Connor, and Benson.
I don't think Trey Benson will stay.
He might get cut.
Yeah. Exactly. I doubt that they'll be able to trade him for anything. But there will be teams looking for running backs because it was pretty sparse in this draft, as we'll see.
Yeah, I definitely think we'll see a couple running back trades as training camp come and goes.
Could happen, yeah.
So just so because we all know, like we all expect big things from Jeremiah Love, and when I say big things, it could be varying degrees of RB1. I think we're all kind of in that range, right?
Yeah.
So where would you guys place him if you just had to throw RB number
for the season?
Yeah.
Oh, where he finishes?
Yeah, where he finishes.
Not dynasty value.
No, finishes.
8 to 12 would be my assumption.
Yeah, 8 to 12 sounds pretty good.
I think it's similar to what we see with Genty. That's kind of how it's going. I think it's going to be up and down for fantasy managers.
Okay, I'm going to say RB5 is where I see him finishing.
Ooh. That is a high bar, and if he finishes at RB5, then he's going to be the dynasty like RB2, 3.
Yeah.
I mean, he's going to be in discussion
basically where
one,
he is.
If we're going to be honest.
Well, I mean, if people get fatigued with Bijan and
I think the two are going to have to take a step back because they're still really young. So the two are going to have to take a little bit of a step back for that to be possible, in my opinion. But I mean, if he finishes like RB3, I think definitely. Like if he finishes, where people are ranking him essentially now, which is RB3, RB4, then yeah, I think you have to have those conversations. But what Gibbs and Bijan are doing is pretty insane.
Barring injury, I don't think he can overtake either one of them.
I've seen the Dynasty community do way crazier things.
Well, Detroit just signaled that they're just all in on Gibbs. They got rid of Monty to bring in Pacheco. Like they specifically brought in a lesser talented back, knowingly that he was a lesser talented back, just because they're going with Gibbs. That's their guy they're focusing on.
Yeah, I mean, maybe even if Bijan and Gibbs were like 25, I'd be like, okay, like, going into the year the 26-year-old year, maybe, but they're still 24-year-old backs. They're still as young as some guys coming out. Yeah, I mean, I don't see a world in which he overtakes them. I think he could probably get on their level, but overtaking them he would have to have a crazy, crazy season, which would be awesome.
I don't know. He's 20 currently, so
yeah, he's really young.
I definitely think there's an avenue that, I mean, outside of Bijan and Gibbs finishing 1-2, if they don't do that, I think we could see, if Love has a great season, we could absolutely see people taking him as the first running back. Moving on.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah,
the very next pick, Carnell Tate, number 4 to the Titans. Like we kind of, brushed over it. I think he's the clear first receiver off the board in most drafts. Any reservations there? Do we feel great about it?
Yeah, I like it. It's fine. It'll do wonders for Cam Ward. I think he fits Daboll's offense just fine. They're probably going to spread it out, maybe do a little RPO. I like it. It's not ideal, but look, when players go high, they go to bad teams.
I think it is kind of ideal for the situation. I think it's the
best spot he could have landed, to be honest, especially with Daboll. Well,
no, the Rams are the best. There's better spots.
I don't think the Rams are a better spot. Chiefs. I don't think the Chiefs are a better spot. I think this is legitimately the best spot he could have gone.
The best spot in any of the 32 teams.
Yeah, in my opinion, it's the best spot.
Not just where he realistically could have gone.
The best spot he could have gone. All 32 teams.
Okay, explain that.
So we've seen Daboll historically, whether it's been him as a coordinator or him as a head coach, he has one guy, one wide receiver that does everything on the field as far as the route tree, that moves around, right? He can use him as an X, he can use him as a Z. In Buffalo, it was Stephon Diggs. In New York, it was Malik Neighbors. Those guys were hyper targeted. And it didn't matter how well they were covered. It didn't matter what the game plan was. He was saying, this is our best receiver. He's going to get the ball. If they didn't get the ball, all he was doing all game is trying to figure out how to get them the ball. I watched it happen in New York. There was no plan B. It was Malik Neighbors or bust, right? Carnell Tate
Who is that?
is that player, and that's why they picked him. They're going to take him in there, and he's going to get hyper targeted.
Who was that guy last year?
With
Wandale.
Yeah, it was
Neighbors
Wandale.
got hurt.
Exactly, and he's in Tennessee, isn't he?
Well, no, because I mean that's just because Neighbors went down. That's what I'm saying. There's always a player.
I'm making a joke.
Yeah, so it's for me. It's the perfect pairing. Like I know Dayball's game plan is to go out there and throw to their best player over and over and over and make the defense stop it. It's just what he does.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited for it. I moved him up above Lemon due to landing spot, so that is what it is for me there. But it is. I do think it's a really good spot. With obviously being drafted 4th overall is the ultimate cushion for if he starts slow or anything like that. The team's going to be extremely patient with him.
Okay. Yeah, I think we already said that we'd take him at 102 or 103, right?
Yeah, I'm comfortable with either.
Okay.
Jordan Tyson to the Saints, 8th overall. I believe, Chad, this was your ideal landing spot when we did the pod.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, this was my ideal landing spot. I like it. Obviously going to have a little bit of competition there, but yeah, I mean, it's going to be a dangerous offense, and I think there's going to be plenty to go around. I think Olave is, I mean, knock on wood here, because neither one of them are the picture of health, but
Oof, that's true.
but
Yeah,
it's going to be good
that.
for the other one when one eventually goes down.
Yeah, when one's down, the other will be great.
So they'll always have one guy out there, hopefully. But no, all joking aside, I really like the landing spot. I think I expect the quarterback to take another step forward in Shuck. We'll see if that happens. I really like what he did last season. We can argue about the difficulty of the schedule, because realistically it was very, very easy. But still, he showed a lot with his legs. He showed a lot with his arm talent. And they were devoid of talent at wide receiver. They really don't have a tight end. I mean, Austin's going to argue with me here, but they don't have a premier tight end that's really going to challenge the wide receiver 1 and 2 in this offense. As of right now, maybe that changes down the road. But yeah, I think it's going to be a fun offense with Kellen Moore there.
Yeah, I think this hurt Jawan Johnson more than anybody. For 3 years in a row with the Saints, we've gotten usable production every year with Johnson. And now having another premier wide receiver in that offense likely removes his second option as a weapon for them.
I still think he'll be usable as a fantasy player, Juwan Johnson.
I don't think Shuck can support 4 weapons, so I don't agree with that. ETN is absolutely.
I thought you were counting Oscar Delp already. I was like,
no.
All right, Austin.
No, ETN.
Yeah,
in the Kellen Moore offense, ETN
ETN is going to get
absolutely going to get a lot of touches.
Yeah, the tight end gets a lot of touches in his offense too. I'm not gonna legislate the usage. I can't.
Okay, well, in that case, where are you at with Shuck? Because it sounds like both of you should be pretty high. Like, how high are we talking?
Pretty high. I mean, I can't tell you where I have him ranked because I haven't done my rankings.
Yeah.
What would you give up to get him?
It would take
from a rookie pick perspective.
Like I like him better than I like Ty Simpson. So 10, easily I'd pay 107.
Any more than that?
Probably pay 106.
Okay. Yeah.
Or I pay 107. I pay 107 plus, a late second in this, but I'd still probably do it.
I mean, that sounds reasonable to me. That sounds like what consensus probably should be. I don't know what it is right now, but it sounds like what it should be, around 107.
I'm looking. He's already jumped up in between Darnold and Mayfield currently.
Yeah.
Okay. Someone came knocking on my door, asking for Shuck, and I asked him for a 27 first, and he didn't want to pay it, so I told him to go pound sand up to Rio Grande.
Nice.
That's my price.
Yeah.
27 first, we'll get it done.
I mean, he's probably got one of the better situations out of the young quarterbacks. I mean, maybe the best situation out of the young quarterbacks, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I understand if you don't want to pay a 27 first because, There's like 9 quarterbacks. There could be 9 quarterbacks in the first round of rookie drafts next year. It's crazy.
Or they could all gamble and never mind.
We're not that kind of podcast. But yeah, I mean, there's not that many jobs open. So it's not going to be that many quarterbacks, but there are a lot coming out next year.
Yeah, would you rather have Stroud or Shuck?
Sure. Are they the same age?
I mean,
Stroud's younger by 2 years.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, does it really matter though? Because Stroud might not be a starting quarterback in a year.
Yeah.
I mean, Shuck might not be a starting quarterback in a year. Who knows, right?
Yeah.
So
it's true too. I mean, Stroud still carries more name value. Probably more.
I don't know at this point. I mean, if somebody offered me Stroud for Shuck, I don't know that I would take that at this point.
No, I would probably just hold. Either way, I would probably just hold, to be honest, and just keep what I have and not regret. Not have my life filled with regret.
The only other one I want to bring up is Goff. Would you rather have Goff or Shuck?
Depends on the situation. And if I'm a strong contender, I want Goff.
Chad?
I mean, yeah, it's a toss-up.
Okay. I mean, they're close on here as well, so I was curious.
I think I'd take Shuck, just for the upside. I think I'd take Shuck.
It feels so risky.
Yeah, it is.
And I can't argue it. Like what y'all are saying, I can't argue at all with it. It just feels so risky.
It is risky. But, I mean, that's the price to pay for upside, right? Like,
Yeah.
There's a reason why Goff is there, and it's not for his upside, it's for his safety. And there's a reason Shuck is there, and it's not for his safety, it's for his upside.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, speaking of upside quarterbacks, next name off the list is Ty Simpson.
Ty Simpson
Surprised everybody, went 13 overall to the Rams.
Wait, we didn't finish where we take Tyson in rookie drafts.
4 or 5 for me, 4 or 5.
Do you guys have a clear distinction between him and Lemon?
Nope, that's why I said 4 or 5.
How about you, Chad?
No, I'm probably going to try to get a pretty even share.
Okay. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. It's a tough call for me between the two of them. Both good landing spots.
Philly has shown that A.J. Brown's out the door, so I don't have to worry about that at this point. And I think Lemon and Smith together can absolutely feed, as long as the offensive coordinator allows Hurts to throw the ball and how he wants to.
And for everybody that's that likes fan fiction, just look for my novella later in the year. I'm going to put all of my stories together in one A.J. Brown fan fiction novella.
We only tried to tell you for like 3 months now.
Just, sometimes you can't let go.
I get it. Speaking of not letting go, Ty Simpson to the Rams is crazy. And I bring not let go because the Rams have tried to justify it in saying that a receiver or tight end taken there wasn't going to help them more due to their depth chart.
Right. I've heard.
Which is just absolutely crazy to me.
And why did you take Max Clare in the second or third?
Second, yeah. I just don't understand. So, but all that doesn't matter because he went 13th overall. So my first question is, where are y'all comfortable taking him? We assume he's not going to play.
6.
Oh,
depending. I mean, I'm not saying I'm taking him 6th every time, but 7 definitely. Like, I'm probably not letting him get past 7.
So he's above Sadiq for you, is what you're comfortably saying?
Depending on.
Well, that's 7, right? That would be 7, right?
Oh yeah, I guess price.
I mean, in a non tight end premium league, I wouldn't mind taking a Shuck at him. I know, but a lot of people play those. Not
Simpson,
us, but a lot of people.
Simpson.
Oh yeah, Simpson. So yeah, I would take
depending
Simpson
on the premium. Like in a full point premium, I'd probably take Sadiq.
I mean, full point premium, I'm taking Sadiq ahead of probably Lemon and maybe Tyson.
Really?
Yeah. A full point premium, like 2 point per reception. Yeah, I am. As long as you have flex spots, right? Like if you have 2 or more flex spots, and give me all the decent tight ends that have upside, please.
That's too pricey for me for Sadiq. I didn't love the landing spot.
We hadn't made it there, so
Okay. But yeah, let's stick to Ty Simpson. I love it. I mean, that gave us another quarterback in the first round. Makes me so happy. That's saving my balls in a number of leagues.
Yeah, we didn't get much else, so at least we got that.
Yeah, and it extended the picks that I'm comfortable making now up to 8.
See,
pretty much.
Chad, talk me into it, because Jesse's been in on this the whole time. Talk me into why I should feel good about taking him at 107. Or do you feel that way, I guess, is the more important question.
I mean, I'm probably starting to look at him at 108, but, okay. I mean, I only play in, 0.75 or above tight end premium leagues mostly. So, it's one of those things where tight ends are just worth more than quarterbacks that are going to sit on the bench potentially forever. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. It just depends. Ty Simpson, for me, I'm not shocked if somebody takes him at 107. I think that's a realistic range. But I don't know. I don't feel great about it.
I don't either. I was hoping.
I feel great about it. I think he's going to sit for a year. And when a team takes a quarterback 13th overall, he doesn't sit forever. That just has never happened in the history of the NFL. He's going to play.
Yeah, play next year. If Matthew Stafford is healthy, he's not playing. So
correct. He's not playing this year.
Well, he might not play next year either. Is the thing.
It's a possibility, but at 107 in this class, I'm taking that chance. Like I said, I mean, we have to include Sadiq in this conversation. Sadiq's landing spot wasn't good enough, and he had too much risk to begin with, and then he went to the Jets. Oof, he could never get a quarterback.
I mean,
sure, but that's such a. I mean, Ty Simpson could never play football in the NFL, so I mean, we can play that two different ways.
I'm just saying he could never get a good quarterback.
So
I mean, they have 3 firsts next year. There's a real opportunity that they select a highly tiered quarterback, whether they're good or not. We don't ever know that.
Wrong. I mean, everybody in Cleveland could never get a quarterback too.
Here's the thing, right? It's not about the outlook of Ty Simpson ever, right? Like Ty Simpson could definitely, if he starts in 2 years, and McVay's still there and the offense is still, up and kicking and the Rams still look like the same team, yeah, it could be really, really good, right? My concern is now to then. Can I get Ty Simpson cheaper at any point in between the timeline in which he's drafted and the timeline in which he's starting games? And if you're telling me that's 2 years, I think that's pretty likely. If you're telling me it's, less than a year, Matthew Stafford gets hurt or something, then yeah, but that's, that's why you're paying the price you're paying, is because if something does happen or Matthew Stafford does retire after a year, then yeah, you're looking like you got a pretty good prospect at a decently priced. Yeah, but I mean, it's still only maybe 3 picks ahead of where he probably would go if he went to a starting spot right away. So there's an argument to be made both ways, is where I'm getting at.
And you make a point, and I guess I should clarify this. I'm not doing that with every single roster. My competing teams, I'm probably not going to, if I'm looking for a championship, I'm probably not going to do what the Rams did. I'm probably going to look for a player that can help me, and that would be Sadiq. Even though he's very risky himself.
Let's say Sadiq, sure. What about the next guys? Concepcion, Cooper, Stowers, Boston. Are there any avenues in which you would take one of those players over Simpson? Or is he a lock for you at 8? Is this what you're saying?
Yeah, he's pretty much a lock for me at 8, because I also feel I feel a similar way about all of those players, that I may have to wait a year for any of them to put up any decent production. They're all in bad situations.
I kind of like the Browns.
I mean, they're all in currently bad situations. The Jets, Omar Cooper and Sadiq are on the Jets and are competing with each other for touches. And they have Garrett Wilson there as well, and A.D. Mitchell.
Well,
and
Garrett Wilson is what makes that situation awful to me.
Exactly.
But, the Browns, I think, is a pretty good situation.
Yeah, I would agree.
Well, there's a lot there too. So you have Judy, Tillman, Concepcion, Denzel Boston.
Hilarious.
Like I said, the Brown situation
They have
is a big
Judy.
situation.
Harold Fannin,
There you go.
Quinshawn Judkins, and the quarterbacks are a mess.
I mean, I can agree with the quarterback being the big question mark, but
I'm just saying there's a lot of names, and for you just to assume that you're the guy that you pick in the rookie draft is going to just jump out to a fast start.
Well,
of course.
nobody's
That's
assuming
every
that. It's
pick
about
ever.
nobody's assuming that. It's about
Okay, so what I'm saying is you're gonna you're likely gonna have to wait for these situations to develop for your players. Maybe not as long as you'll have to wait for Ty Simpson, but like from 9 on, that's the situation that you're in. You're gonna have to wait probably.
Well, it's
maybe 1 or 2 of them jumps out to a fast start or looks really good by midseason, but how do you know which one of those is going to be? More than likely, you're going to have to wait for production out of these.
Well, that's the ticket you're buying, right? Is you're saying, okay, I like this player. I think this player has a chance to go out and do something year one and increase in value. That's what you're saying when you're drafting a guy, 107, 108, 109. On the other hand, you have Ty Simpson where you're saying, I think the safety factor with him, his value being insulated because of the position, because of the landing spot, and because of the idea that Matthew Stafford might retire after the year's done. I get that, but there's also, like I said, the counterpoint that you can get him cheaper because he's not going to be playing games, right? Which has happened to every other quarterback.
It's an abstract way of looking at it, though. Like, you have to take someone with that pick. And after 106, they're all that way. There isn't a player that I feel good about gaining value and putting up production this season after 106.
Well, that's what we're saying. We disagree with you. That we like the Browns landing spot. Like, if I think there is a decent chance that Casey Concepcion or Denzel Boston go out there and take over the wide receiver one of that offense. I think that's more likely than not, to be honest with you.
I think both become the 1 and 2 by week 6.
And that's what their beat writers are saying too, is that they think they're going to be the 1 and 2 in that offense.
I honestly don't care what beat writers are saying right now. until they get out there on the field and the beat writers are reporting what they see. I don't care.
Well, let's put it this way. Their wide receiver room sucks and has sucked, and they just took a wide receiver at the top of the second and in the back end of the first. So they want those players to be their 1 and 2. They're telling us
I hear
that.
you. I understand that, but you also have a really good tight end, a really good pass-catching tight end who is probably going to be their number one.
Well, we
option.
don't know. It's a whole new offense now. So that's the worry there is Fanning could be, a little bit of smoke.
You also have 2 players that are, say what you will about Jerry Jeudy and Cedric Tillman. They may not have put up huge numbers in their careers. Jerry Judy's 1 year away from a really good season, number one. Number 2, he's a veteran. And coaches like veterans who are, well, actually, we're talking about Judy, though. So coaches like veterans who are going to be where they're supposed to be, when they're supposed to be, but that's not really Judy.
Yeah.
So
I feel like you're
just
trying
made your
to make
argument
your point right now.
I think I just made your argument for you.
Yeah. Don't.
But my whole point is like,
You're trying to find ways to make your point.
No, my whole point is that I just don't find it very likely that those guys are going to gain a ton of value this year.
And I feel the exact same way with Simpson. That's my worry. That's kind of what the whole reason I
feel that way about Simpson too. And what I'm saying is, after 106, I don't think that guy exists.
I mean, that's crazy. Like, you cannot think that that guy doesn't exist.
It will exist,
right? But it will.
Good luck.
Like, that's
good luck picking who it is. Good luck.
I mean, good luck for you because you don't believe in the guys. But there are
these guys. We have to pick someone. So,
there are people, right, that definitely believe Casey Concepcion is a legitimate football player who is in a situation where he can be a wide receiver one in an offense. He's in that situation where he can be a wide receiver one in an offense. That is extremely valuable, especially because even if he's not a productive, like a super productive player, let's say he finishes wide receiver 17 on the season and he locks himself in as the Browns wide receiver one, and they go out there and they draft a quarterback next year because they're going to have the draft capital to do it, right? Automatically sky through the roof value on Casey Concepcion, right?
Yeah, likely
being the
more
wide
than
receiver
Simpson,
one
no matter
in
what.
an offense, there's only 32 of those guys, right? That is a lot of value in itself. That's what I'm saying is these two guys, and it could be Denzel Boston, right? I'm not discounting that, but I'm just saying, I'm just using Casey Concepcion as an example here. But, one of those two guys, I think more likely than not they are going to be or one of them is going to be the wide receiver one in that offense. And that to me is very, very valuable.
Yeah. So wide receiver one in a bad offense is okay.
Yeah, Michael Wilson was really good last year. Wide receiver one in a bad offense. There's always a player. I mean, Garrett Wilson's been good every year of his career on the Jets.
And it's because this is the game we play when we're trying to prove points, right? Like, it's not about, we're talking about value. We're not talking about, production for his entire career. Just because he becomes the wide receiver one in an offense, I'm not saying that he's going to be a very productive player ever. I'm saying to the Dynasty community, that matters. If they go out there and they draft a quarterback, his value is going to spike. If at that point you want to sell him, right, then you can go ahead and do that. But I'm just saying that is an opportunity for value to be found, right? And the same goes for Denzel Boston. Somebody's going to go in there and win that job.
So I think what my argument boils down to is trying to find that player that is going to gain value this season after pick 6 is going to be very difficult because there's the landing spots aren't great, and then the talents aren't as high as what they normally would be in that range of this draft, right? So I argue that trying to find that value gainer season 1 is not really what I'm going to do. I'm going to take the player who I think is more talented and over their career is going to be better, or in a year is going to be better.
Okay. That's a fair way to say it.
I just think that to me is, I just think you have a better chance of hitting that way. It's so unpredictable after 106 in this draft that I just feel that you have a better chance of getting a hit if you approach it that
way.
Okay. Talent over unpredictable situation, really.
So you think Ty Simpson is
somebody you don't like?
Well, real quick, you think Ty Simpson is a more talented player over those?
No. So like that went through my mind while I was making that argument. So like, no. So that's an exception to, but so like, okay, after 107, but like having the Rams starting quarterback is such an enticing proposition to me.
It is
that it kind of trumps all risk.
Yeah. I mean, we all wanted him there.
Yeah.
I just don't think anybody expected him to be at 13, which drove his price up to this point to where you basically, you don't have, I've seen him fall. I mean, I just saw one of our listeners, Nate, take him at 110. So, I mean, there's avenues where he's going to fall more. And at that point, I feel really comfortable taking him.
Yeah.
But for me, the Sadiq, which we're about to discuss, and Concepcion, those two guys, I feel pretty good about. Like, not great, but pretty good that within a year's time, we're going to see a value spike in some fashion, whether that's even just training camp. I think there will become times over this next 12 months that we see a value gain from those two guys at least. Cooper, Boston, Stowers, not as much. They're avenues, but I don't think they're as strong. So for me, I think it's, pick 9 is kind of where I'm comfortable with Simpsons currently.
I'm probably a little bit ahead of you. I think I'd be really happy with 108. 109 would be I'd be ecstatic with 109. 110 is a steal. I'm very happy for Nathan. I'm a little bit jealous.
Yeah, me too, man.
It's
if Sadiq or if Price, Sadiq, or Simpson fall to 109, that you got lucky. Basically, you jumped a tier, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I haven't seen that other than, like I said, the Simpson one there.
Yeah,
I only saw it in an IDP league where somebody took Sonny Styles at 106. That's the only.
Yeah, I think I probably, and it'll be fun because I think we're gonna do a mock draft next week. But I think I have the tiers differently than you guys do currently, as I have quite a number of people in that tier after Mekhi Lemon. I think well, after I think Jadarian Price in a tier by himself, but after that, I have a lot of guys kind of grouped together.
Is Lemon in the tier you're saying, or
no? It's
okay.
Lemon's
So
in that first
starting
tier.
at 7 is what you're saying.
So it's Lemon. It's after Lemon, then Jadarian Price by himself, and then everybody else.
I mean, I agree with that. To be honest, I just feel the most comfortable with Sadiq and Concepcion. But I agree, it's really a big tier for me.
7 and 8 is a tier for me, and then 9, 10, 11 is a tier for me.
Okay.
And then 1, 12 and after, whatever. I don't even want it. I've been trading back, trading out, whatever, trading up.
Yeah, it's fun.
Well, let's move on to Sadiq. Speaking of this range, I know Jesse has made it clear he doesn't like the landing spot, and I get it. It's the Jets. You know, we're never happy when a player goes to the Jets, and they just drafted Mason Taylor last year in the second. But that should tell us what they feel about Mason Taylor from their draft capital in the second.
Those aren't even the two things that I don't like. What I really don't like is then they drafted Omar Cooper in the first round as well, and they kind of play the same position. Not exactly, but they're going to be like, I don't understand how, unless Omar Cooper is playing more outside and A.D. Mitchell's off the field, I don't understand how Sadiq and Cooper are really on the field at the same time.
I mean, Sadiq's going to be the tight end 1 every snap.
Okay, but he's not that great a blocker.
Yes, he is a plus blocker.
Compared to Mason Taylor, no, he is not. Mason Taylor is a much better inline blocker, much better inline player, and he will be the inline player. So Sadiq is
we can
more.
Bet on that right now.
So,
we can bet on that right now.
We know.
We know
you love Mason Taylor
for the reason.
No, it's not that. Mason Taylor's a better inline blocker. Sadiq is not really that great an inline player. He tries hard, like I told you guys, but he's a little bit undersized. He's much smaller, like upper body wise, than Mason Taylor. He's gonna be more of a flexed out player, more of the pass catching tight end.
I don't think so.
I mean, you should like that for fantasy. I don't understand why.
No, I would love it for fantasy. I just don't think
that's
what's going to happen. I think he's going to be the tight end 1 in that offense.
I don't think it's that clear. I think it's more gray than tight end 1, tight end 2. I think it's formation based. I think Mason Taylor's going to be in there as a blocker.
In 12 personnel?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Right. And then Sadiq is flexed out. And then you can't also have Omar Cooper and A.D. Mitchell on the field as well. So there's a lot of players that you have to feed in that offense now.
Yeah.
And right now it's Geno Smith doing it. I mean, we understand that, they're going to get a huge upgrade next year, but then that's going to take time to develop no matter who that is. It's going to be a rookie. So that's probably 2 years of a mess,
I think that's a lot of assumption on a negative basis personally.
Okay. Give me the upside.
Well, one, they're never going to be the first target for a defense because Garrett Wilson is alive on the Jets. So that is a positive. They will never be a center point for a defense. That will open up the middle of the field for both Cooper and Sadiq at all times. They have to be careful stacking the box with Wilson. So again, that helps. Breece Hall and Braylon Allen are both plus running backs. So that will also keep the offense moving to some degree if they can be somewhat competent for once in the past half decade. So to me, all this does is give their offense more firepower. Now, do we know who's going to be successful early? No. That's how this works.
Right.
But at the end of the day, both players are talented and in good enough opportunities that if the ball comes their way, they're going to make plays. And I think they actually complement themselves really well. I think Cooper working out of the slot with, with A.D. Mitchell on the outside and Wilson on the other side, that's perfect for Sadiq. He's going to get a linebacker at all times.
But where does he play in that formation?
I mean, that's 11 personnel. He plays starting tight end.
Yeah. So here's the thing for me. I think we're going to get ourselves in trouble here talking about this in black and white terms of like struggling, not struggling. The thing is, somebody in that offense is going to lose out, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that person is less likely to be Sadiq than it is Omar Cooper, much less likely. And the reason that is strictly because tight ends just suck in the league as far as fantasy goes. They just do. So all we need is for him to finish a tight end 1, right? At worst, tight end 12, which is a very, very low bar in the current NFL, right? And he's going to see a bit of a value increase. If we talk about him being fantasy relevant on the Jets, I think that's much more likely than Omar Cooper. I do agree that the Jets offense as a whole is probably going to struggle. I do agree that Garrett Wilson being there is going to be helpful for somebody. But like Jesse was saying, somebody's going to miss out. I just think that person's going to be Omar Cooper. That's why I'm lower on him than I think a lot of other people have been. Not because I think he's a bad player, just because I think from a fantasy perspective, it's going to be a little tough to have him, A.D. Mitchell, Garrett Wilson, and then also have the tight end packages in there, because I think the NFL is moving to a lot of 12 and 13 personnel, which I think we're going to see a decent amount with the Jets. But also, I think when they are lined up with 11 personnel, which is what I was trying to say in the beginning, I think it's hands down. I think 11 personnel, it's going to be Sadiq in there, 100%.
Well, yeah, because he'll be used as a receiver in that situation, I guess. But you also have to remember that Sadiq is young, relatively inexperienced, not a huge amount of production. And to think that that's going to happen day one, I think is optimistic.
I mean, I don't need day one. That's the thing.
When does it happen?
I just need year one.
I mean,
look at
Loveland.
Look at Colston Loveland, right? Like, it didn't happen until later in the year, and it was only a few games, and he's still.
That's true.
He's tight end 3 right now.
It's the tight end position.
We're
just looking
dominated in those games,
but we're just looking for tight ends to show us something, because we want these tight ends to do well. Look how long it took for Kyle Pitts' value to die off, right before he finally actually did something. But it
doesn't take a lot for those.
No, that's what I'm saying. The bar is so low for tight ends, especially highly drafted tight ends, which Sadiq is at 106, a very highly drafted tight end. I mean, it's a very low bar for him in fantasy.
I also think that there's a good chance that 2 or 3 players in that offense miss out. And really, you're just looking at Garrett Wilson and Breece Hall, and kind of nobody else is really relevant.
I mean, I know we're all A.D. Mitchell fans. I always have been.
I think it's done.
Yeah, I think he's done at this point. Like,
I don't know that he's done. I think he has competition.
From a fantasy perspective.
From a dynasty perspective, I think he's done. Until he moves, he's out of that offense. It's just too much.
Well, I mean, we'll see how they come out and line up. If he beats Omar Cooper out,
it doesn't matter
in
if he
training
beats
camp.
Omar Cooper. That's what I'm saying. Is like Omar Cooper, I think is being overvalued right now. This is the Bears situation, but worse from last year.
Would you take? Yeah, it is worse because they don't have a quarterback and they don't have Ben Johnson.
Yeah, this is the Bears situation, but worse.
So, I forget what I was going to ask? Shoot, that was a relevant question. Would you take Denzel Boston over Omar Cooper?
Yes, and I did.
Okay.
And it's not because I have them very, very similar. They were pretty much neck and neck the entire process for me, from a talent perspective. But I mean, I just think the situation in Cleveland is far superior. And I'm not talking about like the level of talent on the team. It's about what's going on as far as the offense is concerned. The path to success for Omar Cooper is so much harder than it is for Denzel Boston. Denzel Boston's going to be put in a position to win that job day one. They're going to say, go out there and show us you can be a wide receiver 1. The first guy to go out there and do it is going to be the wide receiver 1. Whether that's him, whether that's not going to be Judy, but whether that's him, whether that's Casey Concepcion, whether that's Cedric Tillman if he can ever stay healthy. Like Or Fannin, right? They're just going out there and they're saying, hey, this is an open competition. Show us you can do. They're going to have their own separate roles, but I'm just talking about from a production perspective, right? Who's going to be who's going to be the guy that they rely on?
I think it's pretty similar. I think the likely scenario is that both Boston and Cooper end up as the wide receiver 2 in their offense.
It's not the same scenario because Garrett Wilson is the wide receiver 1. There's no hope for anybody in that offense to be wide receiver 1.
I understand, but
Oh, I'm not done.
It could it could very easily become the same situation where Concepcion wins the wide receiver 1 job and Boston's
But we're talking
the
about
wide
today,
receiver
right?
2.
We're talking about
Yeah.
you're picking from 2 players that have the opportunity to be wide receiver 1s in their offense. Denzel Boston has the opportunity. Casey Concepcion has the opportunity. Omar Cooper does not have the opportunity. Right?
I also think that Omar Cooper has the skill set to hit right away in the NFL.
But
with his short area game, tackle breaking, I think he's got a high floor. So that kind of counteracts in a way. Like I don't truly believe that Denzel Boston has the talent to be a team's wide receiver 1. So to me, that's fool's gold.
Okay, so then you
I would
just
agree
don't
with
like
that statement.
Well, I mean, but then you just don't like Denzel Boston. So that's different.
It's not that I don't like him. I like him as a wide receiver 2 on a team, and that's a valuable fantasy asset. I just don't want to overvalue it.
Okay, I don't believe Omar Cooper has the ability to be a wide receiver 1. To be
No, I don't either.
He's
I
not
don't
supposed
either,
to be.
but I don't think Denzel Boston does either. So I'm looking at them both as wide receiver 2.
Yeah, I mean,
This time I think Jesse's just saying that he believes Cooper has a better chance of instant production because of his what we assume designed role in that offense.
I mean, I hear what you're saying. I'm just saying the path to success in that offense is much, much, much muddier. When you're talking about a pass catching running back who's going to demand targets in Breece Hall, you're talking about Garrett Wilson, who's going to, I mean, historically has gotten, when he's healthy, 12, 13 targets a game. You're talking about a tight end they drafted ahead of all these guys, right? Who is going to demand
Cleveland
targets.
has a top pass catching tight end as well.
But that was a different staff, and he wasn't highly drafted. He just
got
played
that
well.
talent.
Yeah,
That
I
same
mean, he
talent
does have
level is
he
still
does
there.
have the talent, but what I'm talking about is a coaching staff coming in and picking a tight end at the top of a draft. Right? That is much different than a new regime coming in when a tight end has played in a short stretch of games better than his expected, production was.
True.
So
yeah, we don't know what Monken thinks of Fannin.
So what I'm saying is, when you have Garrett Wilson, when you have a tight end that, obviously they're going to be game planning, they're going to be, have a central part of their game plan designed, to get him involved. And then you have another number of wide receivers that we think have talent. Like, I think A.D. Mitchell is a talented player. I don't know. I mean, I just think it's a bit tougher for Omar Cooper than it's going to be for anybody in Cleveland, personally.
Okay.
Right. So we've talked a lot about the late first here. A lot of names we've brought up. We'll be talking soon about their draft capital. Let's move back up the board a little bit. Mekhi Lemon fell down to 20. The Eagles traded up in front of Pittsburgh to get him. This is as I mentioned earlier, this is the final beck and call that A.J. Brown is out of Philly. So how do we feel about this? I think we've kind of teased it. It sounds like he's our 105, but let's give us the rundown. What's the positives here?
Chad, I want you to go first.
Positive is that he got draft capital, which is good. There was some talk of him, I guess, late in the process. Some people were saying crazy stuff like falling out of the first round. They also said that about Jordan Tyson too. So kind of seems laughable now, but yeah, I mean, got the draft capital.
He didn't go to the Steelers,
Yeah, that's good too. Didn't go to the Jets. Didn't
or
go
the Browns.
to the Browns. Yeah. I mean,
no, we're not doing
No.
that.
I wasn't talking about the Browns being better than the Eagles. I'm just saying, like, the Eagles are not my favorite landing spot, to be honest. Even with, the absence of AJ Brown, but I think the upside is there, and that's what I want to see with players that I think are really talented. Are they in spots where, there's room for change with the new coordinator? At least I can convince myself, hey, maybe they do find a way to get Jalen Hurts to throw in the middle of the field and make it work, and do some of the things that he's kind of refused to do in the past. And we see these wide receivers just get more targets. That's kind of what I'm looking for.
Yeah, before Jesse goes, he gets to go last in this because I'm sure it's going to be opinionated. As Chad said, it's not my favorite landing spot, but it's a heck of a lot better than what I was worried was going to happen as the board fell. We're all big Devonta Smith fans, so don't take this as a negative, but he can absolutely earn the first target share in that offense early on. I absolutely think he can, and the thing is Devonta Smith can still get his targets and Lemon still get his targets. So, I mean, they did it with Smith and AJB have both been quite usable throughout majority of their career, even with Hurts' lower target rate. To speak of the middle of the field, it is true. Outside of 2022, he's been like historically low percentage of throwing to the middle of the field. He's good at it, but he doesn't do it unless it's wide open. So that will need to improve for the tight end usage, which we'll discuss, at a later time, and for Lemon because he is very good there. But I don't know. It just feels like as good as Devonta Smith is, I think Lemon can succeed in it pretty quickly.
Don't disrespect Devonta Smith again. I think top 12 wide receiver in the league. Honestly, I think if Lemon can go out there and outperform Devonta Smith in that offense, I would be stunned. I'd be very excited for him, but I'd be stunned. But I think we haven't really touched Devonta Smith's potential in that offense because AJ Brown was there.
Yeah, I'm just worried at this point we're not going to ever see what it could have been.
You boys you've touched my heart. You really have. You've made it so I don't even have to say anything.
All right, cool. Let's move on.
No, I kind of agree with everything Chad just said. The one thing you didn't touch on is that it's been a run. Hurts offenses have always been a run-heavy offense, and I mean, when you have Hurts and Saquon Barkley still, I think it'd be kind of foolish not to run the ball a lot.
Yeah.
So they're not going to be at the top of the league in pass attempts. So that is a bit of a negative. That's why I agree that it's not my favorite landing spot for Lemon either. That's from a fantasy perspective. It took me a long time. It took me a long time to even be able to analyze this because I was so stunned. Because that really was the nail in the coffin. That's AJ's gone, obviously.
Yeah.
If we don't trade him, he's going to blow everything up. He can't exist with two other. He couldn't exist with just Lemon. Like he only was able to exist with Devonta Smith because Smith is such a professional.
Yeah.
He's probably the nicest guy in the league. He's
just such a low key guy that he could exist with AJ Brown. Lemon is not that guy.
Somebody said that if Lemon came in and asked Devonta Smith for the number 6, Devonta Smith would probably give it to him and give him a check.
Yeah. And it's nice to have a player in Philly like that. We don't really usually have that reputation. So that's nice. Yeah, I really, that's all I got. I like Lemon either at 104 or 105.
Yeah, I just checked on Keep Trade Cut. They actually have Devonta Smith above Lemon in Dynasty value.
Yeah, and at his age, that's
yeah.
I mean, I think people don't really understand. Like you might confuse me with an Eagles fan because of how many games I watch every Eagles snap, as I do with every NFC East team. When I tell you that Devonta Smith, it's close between who's better, him and Neighbors. Like it's close. I think if Devonta Smith was the wide receiver one in his offense, he's really, really good. I don't think the Eagles have ever used him. I'm talking about I'm not saying that they're the same player. I'm talking about their levels of talent.
Way different kinds of players, but yeah, Devonta Smith is he is so much more talented than people understand. Because he put up a wide receiver 1 year in Dynasty or in fantasy as a wide receiver too.
I mean, so did Robert Woods.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm
Robert Woods was a good player.
Yeah,
I have no qualms saying when I don't like an Eagles player. Obviously, I kind of enjoy it. I think Hurts is an awful quarterback. I think he's a really bad quarterback.
We're not getting into this tonight.
No, but
we're not gonna talk
I'm
Hurts.
just explaining. I don't want to like Eagles players. I think Devonta Smith is incredible, and I think he's going to be clearly the wide receiver one in that offense. I think anybody that's expecting, with all due respect, Austin, anybody that's expecting Mekhi Lemon to go out there and beat out Devonta Smith, I think you're hopes and dreams, because it's not happening.
All right, cool. All right, Austin. Let's move on to Arvell Reese. I'm kidding.
Well, if we did that, we skipped Monroe Freeling, so let's go there first.
That's the player I wanted the Eagles to draft.
Now, next name is Concepcion. We've talked about him a lot, but let's not go into the player anymore. Let's just go to the draft capital.
109.
I'm at
Oh, the NFL draft capital. Yeah.
no, the rookie draft capital. Where you want to take him? I think I'm at 7 to 9 for me.
109. He's exactly the 109 for me, unless one of those guys falls above him.
Chad?
109 to 111.
Okay.
Who would you take above him?
I mean, I just want an even share of all these guys.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I also don't have. He's the one guy. Well, he and Lemon are the only two I don't really have any of yet.
All right. Next is Cooper. Again, we've talked about him ad nauseum.
Yeah, we're good.
Just draft
He's 110. 110 for me.
Okay, same range for you, Chad. I'm guessing 9 to 11, or is he after that for you?
111 for me.
Okay.
I mean, I would if I kind of want an even share of all these guys, but if I'm picking between them, Omar Cooper is kind of the last guy I'm picking.
Okay. Now let's move to a name we haven't discussed much, but we have at least brought the name up. It happened, Chad. What I teased pre-draft and you prayed for pre-draft happened. Jadarian Price, first round to the Seahawks. I mean, we couldn't ask for a better spot. The biggest issue, in my opinion, is that it's now flown him up draft boards. See him up all the way up to 103.
Yep.
So, it makes it what's the highest you're comfortable? Jesse first. Chad, you get to go second on this.
Mm-hmm.
What's the highest you're comfortable taking him? Let's just assume standard, full PPR, half tight end premium.
106.
Okay, so he's behind the receivers no matter what.
Pretty much.
Okay. I think I feel the same. Assuming it's just a standard scoring league, no point per carry, none of those bonuses stuff. But
I've seen him go at 104 in one draft, but otherwise he's been 106, 107.
Okay. All right, Chad, how high?
104 is kind of my cutoff for him right now.
Okay.
I think I like him a lot, and I would be very comfortable having him as my RB2. That might happen in Listener League because I have the 106. I have the 105 and 106. So I may have Love and Price as my top two backs. And I'm comfortable rolling that out.
Yeah, I think I feel pretty good about his usage this year, especially early on. I don't want to ignore that. I feel like they're going to bring in Najee Harris. That would be my assumption.
I mean, they have Emmanuel Wilson. I know it's not a big name, but is somebody that can get carries. He was the number 2.
Sure, but he's not a real number 2. So I just feel like they're going to bring in someone that they can trust, as much as they obviously shown trust in Price being the first round running back. I'm a little worried that the ceiling's not going to be there for season long. I think you'll absolutely find an opportunity to sell him for a lot, similar to what we saw with Scatabo. But I don't think it's, for me, it's somebody that if I'm drafting at 106 and I take him, which is what I'm fine doing, I'm probably going to try to find an avenue in the first year to flip him somewhere.
I mean, then you should probably be taking him earlier than 106, because if there's any player in the entire draft that can raise his value and be able to net you 27 picks, it's Jadarian Price.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but there's also, for me, a realistic value that he's not the alpha week 1. Now, not saying he's not the lead back, like doesn't get the most touches, but to me, I just don't know if he's a workhorse. And I don't think his college tape can prove that he is or not. He's never had more than 15 touches in his college career.
Yeah, but that's just I mean, it's kind of silly. It's just opportunity, right? Like he was never. It's not that he can't do it. It's that he wasn't asked to do it because the best back in the country was there.
Sure, but we don't know is what I'm saying, and we don't know how he's going to handle that. I mean, there's just question marks there. So for me, it's a slam dunk at 106 as in year one, but he's a flip for me. That's kind of how I view him.
Yeah. So what I'm saying, I'm not saying that. Like, I'm just saying that the thought process that 106 is your cap, when even if you take him at 104, realistically, you don't have to have him be a season-long bell cow producer for you to flip him. Once he gets the starting role in Seattle and becomes the Seattle Seahawks starting running back, and they don't have, the key vulture there taking carries, it's in everybody's mind he is the bell cow. If that's your point to flip him, you flip him, and he's probably going to get you the best return out of any player in this draft. So that's where I'm at. I'm not making the argument that I'm not trying to change your mind. I'm just saying, if that is your mindset, he is probably the best buy in the middle of the first to, even earlier.
So let's say I think most people who are taking him high, it's because they need a running back.
Sure.
Austin, would you rather have Price at 104 or the running back you can trade for?
What do you mean? What does the running back I can trade for mean?
Let's figure that out. Etienne?
I would rather have Etienne.
Do you think you can get him for the 104?
Yes.
And answer my question.
I think my real question is.
But I want to know Chad's answer too.
Yeah, but this is going to kind of go into that. How much more? Say you took him at 104.
Mm-hmm.
How much more can I realistically look for before the season starts to gain value? Like,
well, it's not about gaining value. Like, okay, now he's the 102, now he's the 101. It's gaining value. Like, okay, would I rather have the 104, 105 in this class, or would I rather have what I think is going to be a decent 27 first? Because I'd rather have the decent 27 first. And do I think if
plus?
It's probably going to be plus for me to do that.
So if you're gonna have Jadarian Price get the starting role in Seattle, I just know Dynasty. I mean, we've been playing this a long time. All three of us know how this works. When a premier player, and Jadarian Price, say what you will, everybody has their own opinion on him. He is right now a premier player. Gets a starting role in a premier backfield, he is going to gain a significant amount of value, right? It just happens. So I'm saying, if your game plan is going in, hey, I'm going to flip Jadarian Price, like I'm drafting him with the intention of flipping him, if you're going to have that mentality with any player, he is the best player to have it with in this class.
I definitely agree, which for me is why he would be the 106. Whereas the people 1 through 5, I feel comfortable in a dynasty standpoint for more than 1 year. After that, I do think Price is the best option for short-term value gain. I just don't know how much value gain you're going to see without him touching the field. So that's kind of like, I would rather have Etienne if I'm just going to trade, if I'm going to use a running back. Because like currently I looked, 104 is equivalent roughly to Breece Hall. So if I'm going to take Jadarian Price at 104, I'd rather just trade for Breece Hall.
Well, that's not
that's if you can get that done.
Well, yeah, that's a big if, but like that's not my argument. My argument is, like, if you're somebody out there just wanting to kick the can down the road, if you're wanting to draft a player and say, you know what, it's impossible to get 27 first right now, and I want 27 first. Right. Like, this is an easy way to do it right now.
Okay, I can agree with that wholeheartedly. That is a very good point.
I'm with you, and if you just take it, like if you just say, all right, well, I'm taking him with the 106 next year. Let's say I get the 106 next year for him plus the 206. It's probably a quarterback.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Definitely,
like, let's say you don't
a higher talent player.
Let's say you like Lemon, right? Like you like Lemon. You think he's a long-term player, right? But let's say, you know what? I look at the 27 class, and there's 6 players I'd rather have than Lemon in that class, and I think I can take Jadarian Price and get and just say, you know what? Instead of drafting Lemon and getting another share across my leagues, let me just go ahead and pick Jadarian Price. I might like Lemon better, but I know this value is going to increase. I know somebody out there is going to pay for Jadarian Price during the season. Let me try to get this player and kick the can down the road. I think that I've done that before in classes. I mean, it's pretty much a lock with these running backs. You don't even have to wait for them to play. It's just as soon as they get announced as starter, their value shoots through the roof.
Does it hurt if Najee signs for this year's Dynasty value?
No, not even a little bit.
Is he the best running back out there on the market? Is that why you say that?
Yeah. Well, he visited the week before the draft.
I think you were the only person on earth scared off of Amari Hampton by Najee Harris last year.
Well, I mean, sure, but Amari Hampton also didn't succeed like I expected, so it kind of worked out. He was only good for about a week and a half of the season.
I mean,
he was fine when he was healthy.
Yeah, he got hurt.
He wasn't good when he was healthy outside of a week and a half. But that point doesn't. You're correct. Najee Harris is not worth being worried about. You are correct in that statement.
Yeah, I'm not saying you were wrong. I'm just saying that you were the only person.
Yeah. I didn't mean to get into that. I apologize. You are correct.
Najee Harris. I've never been a Najee Harris guy.
Honestly, me neither. But, Seattle has nobody now, so I'm worried the Dynasty community, when a name signs, because I believe they will, it drops his value a little bit.
I'm telling you, wait for the stories to come out in training camp. Wait for him to be announced a starter. It's going to be like by the end of this rookie cycle. Trust me, he's going to be like the 103.
Okay. So that's the end of the first round. We're at an hour and 20
minutes.
Not
103, 104. Sorry. No, 103. Yeah.
That's not the end of the first round. Oh, first round in the NFL draft. I'm sorry.
I was like, that was 132. I don't think there's a 33 pick.
Expansion teams.
I mean, I know there's a ton of other names we can bring up, but we'll be here for 4 hours if we do that.
Yeah.
I guess the last name we should bring up, because a team was willing and going to take him in the first round if they wouldn't have been able to trade back twice. And we haven't discussed them a lot, so let's do that to finish this off. Deshaun Stribling. Pick 33 to the Niners. John Lynch vocally said that they were going to take him at 30 without a trade back. They were able to, so thankfully they didn't have to spend a first-round pick on him. What do we think? Obviously, we didn't do a rookie prospect, so we thought something at least. But here he is, pick 33. It's about as good a draft capital as you could ever dream for a player like this. What do we think?
Well, McShay said that he was going within the next 5 picks. He has talked to GMs that said someone was going to pick him within the next 5 picks if San Fran didn't. Yeah, so that just addresses the people out there saying he was overdrafted. He wasn't.
How much did John Lynch pay him to say that? Because the next 5 spots are the Cardinals, the Bills, the Texans, the Giants, and the Raiders. So it had to have been the Raiders.
Giants?
No.
Why not?
I mean, looking at the names that were there,
it was Denzel Boston was the guy.
That's who I would have expected.
It was, yeah.
So none of that matters because here we are. He got drafted at 33.
He popped up late for me in the cycle, and I missed the show that I was going to bring him up on pre-draft. I like him. I like the tape. He's big, strong hands. Really, I think he's a faster, better Juwan Johnson. And I think he's going to play that role, and I think he's going to do well in it.
It's not a bad point at all.
I think he's going to do well in it. And
Juwan Jennings is who you meant, right?
Yeah, Juwan Jennings.
Honestly, Juwan Johnson is actually pretty accurate too.
But I meant
said that. Yeah,
I meant Juwan Jennings. But yeah, he's probably going to play that role for the most part. They move guys around in that offense or whatever.
Plus blocker.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, very good hands. Good speed. I like him. He's not the most polished player and not the most polished route runner in the world. I think he's good against zone from what I remember. To me, he's He's worth anywhere from a high to late second because it's very flat in the second.
I don't think you have to take him there.
I got him. I've taken him at 205 and 207. I've seen him available in the third as well.
Yeah, the only one that's not IDP that I've made so far was with I was co-managing with our listener Nate, and we got him at 3.8.
Whoa!
I think that's not something you should expect.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's negligent.
Okay, I mean, I haven't seen enough to know, and it felt obviously ridiculous, but
Yeah,
I would have thought it was for him. I expected late second, early third.
that's
but
about
I
where
haven't been
he's
there.
going. Late second, early
Okay.
third. I think I think as the cycle continues, he's a guy that's gonna get pushed up boards too.
Yeah.
So I think getting him in the late third is crazy value. That's pretty awesome.
My initial reaction was he's fighting with Jeremy Bernard for 201. That's what I initially thought after the draft.
Oh yeah, like in your mind. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't argue with that. I mean, I would hope to get him later than that, but
Yeah, and I have,
With
like I
draft
said,
capital,
205 and 205 and 207 were the two spots I took him.
I think 207 is where I'd be pretty happy to get him. If I didn't have a share, I'd probably snatch him up around 205 as well. For me, man, I know people want to kind of talk crap about how the 49ers draft, but I mean, if you go back and you look at their success drafting in the first two rounds, their wide receivers have been pretty good. Like they haven't really missed. I mean, we can talk about Ricky Pearsall, but I think we can all agree like there's a level of talent there with Ricky Pearsall. It's just going to take
a bit.
Yeah, it's just going to take a little bit of time for him to put it together, especially after I think missing that beginning part of your career as a rookie wide receiver. Even for the most talented players in the world, a la Jameson Williams, like it does affect players pretty substantially.
For sure.
So
especially wide receivers.
Yeah, so taking that into account, you talk about Brandon Ayuk, who they took with the back of the first round in 2020, Deebo Samuel, who they got in the second round in 2019. Like they've drafted pretty well in this range with wide receivers. So I'll give them the benefit of the doubt on this one and just say, hey, like, I'm not an all-knowing being. Like, if they have a way to use this guy and they see a level of talent that can be useful in the back end of the first round, beginning of the second round, I'm rolling with the team and I'm saying, okay, show me, because if he's sitting there at 205, 207, 208, like it sounds like value to me.
Yeah. So if he's a little bit older, he's 24. So if Juwan Jennings was 24 years old and still on the Niners in that role, would you pay a mid-second for him?
Oh, absolutely.
I would. Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, I'm not saying he's Juwan Jennings, but I do think he's actually like a little higher talent level.
I mean, they think so, obviously, because they let Juwan Jennings go and drafted him essentially with the first round pick, right?
Yeah, I mean, it would have been a first round pick. Lynch literally said that. So I want to bring up a couple other receivers. I think looking at what we've done, we really need to move to next week to doing the rest of the draft. I think that's probably the smartest thing, and maybe push to mock draft 1 week. But we can discuss that more. That's not the point of what I was bringing up.
Yeah, maybe if you guys have time, we'll do a supplemental pod at some point.
Yeah, we can figure something out. Elijah Surratt. Would you rather have Stribling or Surratt?
Stribling.
Oh, Stribling. Surratt's not. He's like a mid to late third for me.
Brazel.
Oh,
Stribling.
Same. Yeah, Brazel's the third rounder for me.
What about Fields? Malachi Fields.
Same range.
Malachi Fields is in the range.
Okay.
Same with Hurst.
Same with Antonio Williams, I'm assuming.
And Antonio Williams, yes. There's 5 guys I have in that, maybe 6 receivers
Chris Bell.
I have in that range. Chris Bell.
I have a tad ahead of those guys.
I was going to say a little bit behind, but it also depends on shares. Like, I'm not coming out of my drafts without 3 Chris Bell shares because he's got the highest upside out of all of these guys.
Okay. I guess the last one of any real relevance would be Jacoby Lane. Is he fit in that, or is he behind that?
No, behind that. For me, it's Bernard, Hurst, Stribling, Fields, Williams, and I think I'm missing somebody.
He's just behind those guys for me, but in the same tier. Jacoby Lane is.
Okay. I think I would
He's
put him
so
same.
raw. I'm afraid of him.
He's
He's
big
more
and
of a
fast,
third
though.
round flyer for me. Same with Brazel. They're similar guys.
I mean,
to
I
me.
think Lane and Stribling aren't that far apart in NFL readiness receiver play.
I don't think so. I mean, I don't think they're that far apart
Yeah.
either, but the 49ers are telling you they are. So that
I mean,
I was
like,
gonna
that's
say
the big
draft.
difference.
That's fair.
Draft
Yeah, fair.
capital says so much there, and he could just be out there to eat snaps. You know what Matt Harmon calls the sacrificial X, and just run goes and comebacks.
Realistically, if any of these guys got the capital that Stribling got, they'd be comfortably ahead of him.
Yeah.
But it's just about what the teams are telling you, right? Like they're telling you they don't value these guys the same way that the 49ers value Stribling. And
landing spot.
For me that means something.
If any of and that's what pushed Antonio Williams up is landing spot as well. Like he's such a perfect fit with McLaurin playing off of each other. Like, he's going to start. He's going to hit pretty early. It's just there's not a ton of upside with Antonio Williams. I don't think you could ever picture him as being a wide receiver one, right?
Yeah, I mean,
but those guys have
have
value.
Half the wide receiver ones in the league, most people couldn't picture them being wide receiver ones before they were. So that's the thing is with these guys is you're just looking for the opportunity and can they get in the game?
Right on. Well, yeah, I think Antonio Williams is going to get a lot of opportunity because their wide receiver room is garbage.
Yeah.
Outside of TMC.
And he's 30, so.
Yeah, exactly. And at tight end, they have Sinat, however you want to say it, who is pretty much busted. And they signed Chig, who has also never really put up a real season. So
yeah, it'll be interesting to see, like, because he's obviously a talented player. It'll be interesting to see, if they can finally get a Conquo going.
I think he's just very inconsistent.
Yeah,
I think the offense he's been in has been.
Yeah, I mean Tennessee hasn't had a competent, tight end room since Delaney Walker, essentially, right? So it's been quite a while.
I'll just say one thing, guys. Be careful of this Jonah Coleman trap or anybody or Nick Singleton, anybody outside of the two running backs we've talked about so far. None of them are high second-round picks or first-round picks. I saw Jonah Coleman go in the first round.
We'll make a supplemental pod about this. Maybe next week we'll skip the banger and talk about the running backs.
Okay. Yeah. That's a good idea. Let's go into overtime.
Let's do it.
You guys watch anything good this week?
Yes.
Besides the draft?
Yes. I watched a show called Special Ops Lioness. It's a war CIA espionage kind of show. Really good. 2 seasons. Super enjoyable. This from a woman that is basically brought in to be a mark for a high-end target, and she's pushed in obviously through the CIA, and it's just really, really good. It's a different perspective than a lot of military and stuff shows, but really enjoyable. A couple bigger like Zoe Saldana's in it. She's the main leader of the CIA group. But yeah, super enjoyable. Definitely recommend. The guy who did Landman is the one who produced it, Taylor Sheridan.
Oh, Yellowstone.
Yeah. Yeah, really good.
Cool. Chad, anything from you?
I watched a documentary. I don't know the name of it, but Scottish people marrying killers and stuff. So it was all right. The woman.
Should I marry a murderer?
Yes, I think that was it or something.
Should I marry a murderer?
Yeah.
I watched it today, actually.
The lady in it was very, very annoying by the end of it. So.
She couldn't stop crying. It was so annoying.
Woe is me the entire time. I'm like, okay,
yeah,
I want to hear more about what happened.
Yeah.
Anyways,
well, I slept through the whole middle part and got the gist of it. I only saw the beginning.
Yeah.
Really
basically, what you thought was happening in the first 15 minutes, but no, it wasn't too bad. But I watched that, and then I been watching
Survivor 50.
Oh yeah, Survivor. But I was gonna say Attack on Titan. I'm almost done with it. I'm just waiting for Austin to catch up on season 4, and then Survivor, obviously, and that's been fun. So pretty much more of the same.
Nice. Yeah, Survivor 50 for me. I tried to watch Daredevil. Blech. You know, the Marvel series that they made?
Yeah.
It's just not good. I mean, I could tear it apart, but I'm just going to say it's not good. There are a lot of British actors out there that do good American accents. The lead in that show is not one of them. He just keeps saying his vowels wrong, and it just takes me out of it. I don't really care about that kind of thing unless I keep noticing it and I'm not trying to notice it. You know what I mean? It takes me out of the show, and So, but I actually, Vincent D'Onofrio from Full Metal Jacket, Private Pile.
Yeah,
he plays Kingpin, and he's very, very good as Kingpin. I really like him as an actor. So that's one good part of it. But all in all, I got to season 4. I mean, not season 4, episode 4. And I asked myself, do I really want to watch this? And yeah, that was it. I didn't watch anymore. And then the wife and I watched the newest season of Lincoln Lawyer. That show just gets worse and worse as it goes along.
I was going to say, I only watched the first season or 2. I thought it was pretty good, but
the first season or 2 were pretty good, and those got me hooked, but ugh.
I didn't know they made more.
Yeah, I think there's 4 or 5 now.
Mm.
Yeah, this one, he was in jail for murder.
Oh, okay.
Representing himself.
Cool.
And then his ex-wife, Neve Campbell, represented him as well. And numerous ex-wives in that show. Anyway. Yeah, I guess that's about all I got. I watched a lot of draft. I forgot to, maybe I'll do it this weekend. I forgot to watch Draft Day. Draft Day is sort of like my ritual every year. I'll watch that movie around draft time.
I need
just
to watch
see.
it again. I haven't watched it in years and years.
I mean, it's ridiculous and it just so bad, and it would never happen. So many things in that movie would never happen, but it's fun. It's a fun watch.
I don't know. We've watched NFL. I can never say never.
Okay.
I mean, most movies,
yeah,
things happen that would never happen. So,
but when you're depicting something that we're so close to,
yeah,
I get pretty judgmental. Yeah. So up next, I'm gonna watch. All right. So hopefully next week I'll have reviews for the movie Send Help. We're gonna watch. Looks pretty good.
That sounds familiar, but I can't think of what that is.
Oh, we're gonna go see the Michael Jackson bioflick in the theater.
Isn't that supposed to be awful?
I don't know.
I want to see it, but I thought somebody.
It's played by his nephew, Jermaine Jackson's kid.
Yeah. Yeah, I wanted to see it, and somebody told me that the reviews on it were awful. I was like,
oh no.
Yeah, hopefully not.
That's a shame.
Maybe they're making.
Well, I'm going to see it anyway. And Project Hail Mary, I'm going to watch it, so I'll have all 3 of those for you next week.
So you're going to ruin them all, is what you're telling me. I need to watch any of that.
You need to watch all of them. Yes.
Perfect.
All right, guys. Anything else?
That is all.
All right. I guess we are out.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the front office. The lights are low, the boards are lit, and the Dynasty clock is ticking. From the heart of the startup draft to the championship throne, one crew rules the long game. Give it up for the undisputed architects of empire, Dynasty Front Office!